TW Sports Talk here. We're coming off of an interesting Week 16 in the NFL, which, of course, here in Philadelphia kind of started off with watching the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Redskins game, which, I think just the nature of this, the way this week went, maybe we'll start there.
Yeah.
How they Tony Romo came through. They were and beat the 3-12 Redskins by 1 point.
Yep.
And survive essentially in the playoff race.
Mm-hmm. Although in the words Jason Garrett, it's such a playoff already for Dallas.
Yeah.
They had to win out to make it. So it's they can't afford one more loss. The season's over. So I do give Jason Garrett. It was a playoff game.
Yeah.
Or next week's a playoff game
against one of the worst teams in the league, but
but still,
it was a playoff situation.
It's a playoff. It's basically if they lost, we wouldn't even be talking about next week. We wouldn't even care. We'd probably take a break next week. Just enjoy it. Maybe come up with some ways to hate the Cowboys next week and so on, and say, oh well, you beat us, but who really gives a shit next week? I mean, but no, it's what most experts said. It's a winner take all.
Yeah, that's what it came down to.
Mm-hmm.
Then heading into the Philadelphia Eagles game against Chicago Bears.
I was shocked.
Now, knowing that,
you thought Chicago had to be motivated.
Yeah, because
they won. They
could have wrapped up their division last night.
Yeah, wrapped up the division. Pretty much would certify that they would get the third seed.
Right.
Which, like I said, for me is the key seed because that means you get to avoid the 49ers.
Yeah.
If you get the third seed, you'd face the Saints.
Probably now.
Or the Cardinals, probably, depending on
how
the results go next week. And not that those are any easier opponents, but I prefer those over the Saints, 49ers in the first round.
Especially because the Saints on the road aren't, they haven't been looking too sharp.
It's like night and day.
Yeah. So it definitely could be an advantage there. And so, but yeah, essentially this game against the Bears last night, as some would say, didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And yet the Eagles come out and lay a 54-11 beatdown, which I don't think anybody saw coming.
I felt like I was watching an Oregon game for a second because
that's what I was saying later in the game.
54 points is like what
okay,
Oregon
54.
Puts up,
this is looking like an Oregon game.
I mean, this is pretty much what Oregon will put up against teams like I don't want to say like Pac-12 teams,
insert unranked college team.
Yeah, sorry excuses for football teams such as college and that, but. No, I mean, that shocked me. It shocked me that Michael Vick even had to come out and get snaps. I honestly thought he probably should came out sooner, the backups.
Yeah, they could have they had the game.
Because there was even a point here where even, like, Skip Bayless said, like, he was even shocked that Kelly threw the starters in. It's like, the game's clearly over. Chicago clearly has given up because they really done out of it. They got a winner-take-all next week, too.
Yeah.
But against the Packers. So,
I thought,
I mean, there's a point where the Bears just clearly gave up. They just want to get out of there with their dignity and it just felt like, I don't know, I guess Kelly Williams would make a statement next week about for Dallas. I mean, obviously, I guess they needed a win to go in, which I do agree with, but
momentum.
They really wanted to make a statement against the Cowboys that, 3 points, that this isn't happening a second time around.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to score 54 again. Probably not. They'll probably get maybe 30.
I mean, at least 30. As bad as the Dallas defense is, I mean, and there was like a pick six in there against the Bears as well.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to get a lot of that because I don't think Romo's going to throw a lot of interceptions against.
I mean,
our secondary is still pretty pathetic. Kerry Williams, the trash talker that he is in the back.
I mean, there wasn't too much to criticize here with the game. I mean, a lot of sacks. Mm-hmm. Trent Cole having like 3 sacks. He was.
Trent Cole was having a hell of a year.
Yeah, I mean, he was having quite a game.
Like I said, our offensive line staying healthy and probably the most versatile offensive line in the league.
Yeah. Foles a lot of time.
We have the most but I mean, like, just how active they are in that line. I mean, just when they say blocks, how they already like turned like blockers already.
They made some great holes for the running backs.
I mean, because I always criticize how that we have small linemen. Yeah, but they're pretty fast too. Yeah. So they got more legs than some other linemen do.
Yeah. So there's not a whole lot to criticize here with this game, obviously.
No. I think the only thing probably would be is that put the starters out earlier in that, but
it
was nice to get Vic in, just hand it off to the nice handoff to Bryce Brown, who just takes it down to the house. I guess he needed a touchdown. I mean, I would just took it just would have fell down and took a knee or something.
Like pull a Brent Selleck like a few weeks ago. Yeah,
do you really need to put any more points?
It wasn't the snow. I don't know the snow. There wouldn't have been a snow effect.
No, but
especially since.
But you could tell by like 6 minutes of that even the Philly faithful knew the game was over. In fact, we went Dallas. Chance started. So next week we get Dallas, who, let's be fair, Tyler, is undefeated in the NFC East division.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. Somebody brought up too here: 3 points against the Dallas Cowboys. But someone actually brought up an interesting topic here on First Take, which is Chip Kelly, Pac-12, Oregon, of course. Yeah. Monty Kiffin was the defense coordinator for which college again?
For Oregon.
No, USC.
Oh, USC.
Which were
Would they play against?
Yeah. Rivals on Oregon there. So, not saying anything here, but they didn't even put it. Maybe Kiffin does have Kelly's number. Maybe he has had his number in the past. I mean, because to be fair here, and there's been plenty of times in the Pac-12 where everybody said, "Oh, nobody can stop the Oregon Ducks," and then all of a sudden he comes Stanford or USC, and they just come in here and they shut down this offense, and after that, the Oregon defense isn't that good, so their offense can just take over and not even worry about the Oregon offense putting 8 points on the board.
Yeah.
So I mean, do I think Kiffin should be fired by the end of the year? Anybody with a brain, I think knows he should be fired, but you got to throw this into the Pac-12 history between Monty Kiffin, and Chip Kelly, because he has. It's like he hasn't seen his offense before.
Yeah. Well, I think though it's really been evolving throughout this past several weeks since that Dallas game, and they've been doing some different things, and I think last night we saw definitely some different things, and also the halftime report they mentioned that Chip Kelly said they weren't gonna let off the gas pedal or whatever. They're gonna approach the second half the same way they approached the first half, and they continue to put up points, and I got it. So I got to think too. I mean, coming to this Dallas game, Dallas is gonna see some different offensive plays and strategies from Chip Kelly here. So, I mean, they're clicking on all cylinders now, too.
And I expect Foles to throw for like 90 yards or get concussed. You're hoping that...
Yeah, that's
the one thing the Eagles have advantage on, too. Maybe except for the secondary, we've been pretty low on injuries this whole season.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, we mentioned that before. I think a lot of that can do with, they've been doing in the offseason.
Dallas even took a beating yesterday against Washington. I think they got to the point they're down to their last linebacker, to the point where this guy got hurt. They'd have no more linebackers left. Yeah. But they were talking about how, even communication, that's a problem there, because, their starters have, communication for the helmets. They can talk to their coordinators. Yeah. Well, the backups don't have those.
Yeah.
So the backups, it's all hand signals then. There's no which that affects communication a bit. So definitely a night and day as far as injuries between Dallas and Philadelphia goes. So, but at the same time, there we're also the favorites, and would you prefer maybe we should be the underdogs maybe against Dallas?
No, I don't think. I mean, they're favorites for a reason. I mean, I just think this team is playing better. And I think Minnesota last week was just kind of an unmotivated, some call it trap game or whatever.
No, but I just think the fact that Dallas is an underdog just puts less pressure on the Cowboys. I think if you would have made the Cowboys the favorites, they would have had all the pressure in the world. 6-10, 8-8, 8-8, possibly 8-8 again.
Yeah.
This would be their third straight year that they would be losing a win or go home game for the division. Ironically enough, 2 years ago against the Giants, last year against the Redskins,
and now this year
the Eagles. They could be everybody, and like I said, it would be the only divisional loss, which would just blow my mind that a team has a very divisional win, but yet still cannot clinch a division title.
Right. Yeah, and not only that, I mean, jobs seem to be on the line there.
Oh, definitely. From Garrett to Callahan to Kiffin.
I mean, I know they want to
I think Des Bryant's contract's up at the end of the year. Interesting to see what the Cowboys do with him.
Yeah.
I think that was going to keep him there, but it's just going to be what Des is thinking about here too. Is this really?
Yeah, I mean, last week
is this a winnable franchise? Like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about winning a Super Bowl. But like I said, I do think that what Kelly does in the offseason is interesting too, because I think we do got a lot of defensive holes and
some holes in the secondary.
Can we get more playmakers in offense? Maybe, like I said, maybe some more.
Big receiver,
big receiver, big back.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we lost Macklin for the year. That hurt, but Cooper's filled in pretty nicely.
Yeah, in recent weeks, I mean, earlier in the season, everyone was saying, we can't, find a receiver off the street to replace him. But
well, Cooper has controversy too, and somehow he's. It kind of has vanished this year, the controversy so fast. Now, Grant, like I said, there's been nothing that's happened in this league yet. I mean,
I think
Looking like a few preseason games, she had a few issues with some maybe players on the side, but
Yeah.
But nothing that turned like to a fist fight or anything.
Right.
Like there was some people like say like, oh, gotta be. As soon as you're like, Kubi gets to face some player on the field, it's gonna be a fist fight because of, the whole. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go that far.
Yeah.
But like I said, if it's not an issue for the league anymore, and no players are calling it an issue anymore, and Cooper's apologized gazillion billion times at this point here, and he's playing a hell of a season. I mean, I think it's time to ignore it then, pretty much.
Yeah, and and also the tight ends in this game look good again. I mean, it seems like when they really used the tight ends, both Ertz and Selleck, they both were used pretty well. And, they seem to come out with a win whenever they use them pretty well.
I mean,
last week they didn't seem to, and maybe it hurt.
They also only used the hell out of McCoy, which I think pissed a lot of fans off. And this week Kelly made up for that easily by just putting the whole offense in McCoy's back.
Right.
And why not do it next week? Why not? Because who wouldn't want to see McCoy on the massive jumbotron go up for a 50-yard touchdown?
Yeah, and that huge
just watch himself after he scores and just says, "Look at that!"
Yeah. I mean, we'll be sitting there watching the game. Go yippee-ki-yay, Jerry Jones. Cowboy, Jerry World, etc. I mean,
Jerry World, the $1 billion penthouse. I think somebody called it the Playboy House sometimes too.
Yeah. Right there on the big screen.
Jerry, the man of the people.
Right. Yeah.
As he says it to himself, he's up in the press box most of the game. And even if he gets down to the people, it's usually on the sidelines, just hovering over the players as if he's one of the boys,
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, definitely Shady McCoy at 18 carries. He averaged like 7.5 yards a carry, I think.
He's about to break the single season record for the franchise.
Yeah.
The franchise,
Yeah, he doesn't have much to go. And that can easily be broken in Dallas.
Easily a Pro Bowler this year for him.
Yeah.
Easily a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
But someone tells me this team is starting to have a super feeling to themselves, maybe.
Yeah.
Not going to go, I don't want to go that far yet, but
yeah,
like I said earlier, I think offensively.
Kind of like last week. And
well, that's the thing there, too. You got to look at some of these games here where it's just like, how did we lose to these guys?
It brought them down, yeah. I mean, yeah, it depends if they start smelling themselves again.
Yeah.
But like maybe that. But this game, they really came in and really, even with a game that didn't really mean a whole lot in the long run. I mean, they just came in and they wanted it.
Yeah.
And obviously, props to Chip Kelly for rallying them.
And keeping them focused.
Getting this young team focused.
Don't get me wrong. When it was 24-0 at one point, I think Chicago just gave up and just said, who cares? We're not out of it. We have a win game. All we got to do is beat Green Bay and everything. No one's going to even remember this game here against Philadelphia. I mean, I think it's how a lot of experts look at that. It's like if Chicago went up like 24-0, I'm sure Kelly would pull starters out early and say, we don't need the win. I mean, to me, that's how it's going to be. Whoever came to the faster start, the other team's probably just going to start saying their starters soon and say, look, we're not out of it. We got another game next week that's going to be more important. We shouldn't be risking a crazy injury here that might hinder our chances of winning next week.
Yeah, and definitely the Eagles came out on top in the beginning, certainly. And they dominate. Yeah, the time of possession, they sustained drives.
Yeah.
They got off the field on defense on third down and did well.
It was something that you want to see. I don't think it's happening on a regular basis because, like I said earlier, if you're going to get top defender plays, you got to try to find a way to sell that they're not going to be out in the field for like 40 minutes a game at one point. Because no defender, Tyler, man, how much you pay him is going to be like, oh, this is so worth the money at this point here.
Yeah, well, I mean, this game they definitely. I mean, they shut down a good, the second scoring offense actually in the league. Actually,
behind probably the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, who had like a 10-point advantage. Like I remember they showed the statistics and it was like they had like 38 points a game. Denver or something.
Well, this is
Chicago's like
I think this
29.
was our 12th game where we scored 40 or more in the season. Denver had like 13.
Yeah.
I think New England that went undefeated had like 13 as well.
Yeah.
We're talking about like with Randy Moss and that.
Yeah,
2007, the Seahawks did something similar. They had 12, and that was the year they went to the Super Bowl with Sean Alexander. That might be right or wrong.
The 2005 season, I know they did, because that was like the 8th grade. That was 8th grade.
Oh,
year.
Okay, yeah.
And I kind of matched those years up a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Eric Coughlin was a massive Steelers fan.
Yeah,
he was saying how the NFC was so weak. The Seahawks were just such a sad team.
Yeah.
They lose to the 6th seed, who was the Steelers that year.
Yeah.
I think it was the first 6 seed to even win the whole go the distance too. I believe
Steelers. Yeah, they were either like 5th or 6th seed.
no 6, and it was
yeah. I guess they were 6th.
I think the Packers did also. I don't know if against the
They
Steelers.
did it a few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat us
when they got really hot.
Beat us at our expense to get there. But
yeah, in a good game. Yeah, a defensive game. Yeah, but yeah,
came down to a pass from Vic to Cooper and end zone that ended the game there. But
yeah. Few missed field goals that game. I remember.
Like I said, we get to the offseason. I'm going to defend the hell out of Michael Vick of why we need to hang on to this guy if we can.
Yeah, and I mean, it was kind of funny because they started showing him on the sideline, and like he looked like thrilled at just standing there, not even playing. Like he was watching the team and he was standing there with a smile. He looked thrilled.
The guy's respected, and I'm sorry. Forbes magazine is an idiot for saying this guy's the most hated guy in the history of every sport, Tyler.
Yeah,
First of all, Ndamukong Suh, I think, has done a lot worse
in his short year
than Vic has ever done. And number two is, I'm sorry, this is the same. This came off the same year as Lance Armstrong lying about steroids.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Forbes is Michael Vick really the most hated guy?
It's an outrage.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with Obama.
It's an outrage.
Yes, I agree with Obama on that. It's an outrage. But like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's because Forbes doesn't like the fact that here's a guy that came from the bottom and worked his way back up now, and whatever. I don't know. I don't know what politics involved in Forbes magazine.
Yeah.
I mean, how they still say the Cowboys are the most, the highest valued franchise in America, which might be true. They have the biggest stadium in going all America too, but that's my check. For value, I go number 2, the Patriots, because they've got rings to back it up recently.
Yeah, in the past decade and a half too, to take into consideration.
And they might take it this year, and if it is, it's all on Tom Brady's back this year, clearly.
Yeah.
Because I his best receiver this year, Edelman, I did not realize was a 7th round pick from Kent State.
Yeah.
But he was drafted as a quarterback. He was a quarterback for Kent State, Tyler Edelman.
How about that?
He's the top receiver for Tom Brady this year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you don't have Brady this year, this is probably a 4-11 team, probably at best.
Yeah.
Right now, this is a team that's 1 win away and a Broncos loss away from number 1 seed.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, like I said, I think Manning's gonna get MVP this year after the numbers he's put up.
It broke Tom Brady's record yesterday.
Yeah. But you got to give Tom Brady like honorable mention here because he's done so much with so little.
With so little, and they're only 1 game below Denver. And in the grand scheme of things, I mean. They'll play. I mean, what? They'll probably be 2nd seed now. Probably. It looks like, and
probably going to face the Bengals, who are going to probably be the 3rd seed.
Yeah, at home. So I mean,
that could be an interesting game because the Bengals beat them the first time. That was at Cincinnati, though. So Bengals never came on the road.
Yeah, the Bengals are good at home too. So I mean, who knows? But and then. And then the Chiefs lost this week to the Colts. Really cold. I was a little surprised by that. I thought,
and that could be a rematch. A lot of people are saying that because the Chiefs got the 5th seed locked up. And unless something happens with the Bengals or something, the Colts are staying in 4th. Yeah. So this time it would be not at Kansas City, at Indianapolis. So
yeah. Well, no, I think was it at Indianapolis.
No, it was at Arrowhead.
Oh, it was at Arrowhead. Oh, well then. Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought it was it. But yeah. Anyways, and then I mean. The Patriots kind of silenced the critics this week when they people thought
which put a stopping on the Ravens. They just they beat them for all those embarrassments and for all the talk of Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean it was
and Baltimore went from another Super Bowl run to did they even deserve to be in the playoffs?
Yeah. I mean that 6th seed now it's a 3-way tie of 8-7 records.
You got Pittsburgh still sitting there.
Pittsburgh somehow
they're sitting there.
Who would need a lot of help, I think.
They need all 3 to lose, and they need to beat Cleveland, and they'll probably beat Cleveland.
They'll beat Cleveland, but
they would need the Dolphins to lose, which could actually happen.
They just got shut out by the Bills. So
San Diego, Kansas City, although Kansas City's not going to play their starters because Kansas City can't do anything. They came in the division. They're stuck in the 5th seed.
Yeah.
They're probably going to rest their starters for a week. Right? Which means advantage Phil Rivers in San Diego.
Yeah.
Who beat them
several weeks. Yeah, whenever that few weeks ago.
And of course, Baltimore's got Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's still playing for a 2 seed possibly if New England slips up to Buffalo.
Right.
I don't see it happening, but as long as there's still an option there, Tyler, you can still play for that seed there. So, but there's a lot of things that can happen there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, San Diego could have an advantage there. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, San Diego would need to win first of all,
Obviously,
and they would need
yeah.
Miami to lose, and they would also need Baltimore to lose.
Yeah.
Both could happen. They could happen.
Yeah, and then of course in the NFC, you also have another couple of interesting scenarios. There, with the wild card certainly.
Well, tonight matters. If San Francisco loses tonight, Arizona and San Francisco are playing in a winner-take-all game essentially. Yeah. Probably, I'm trying to think. Would be for the 5th seed or the? No, actually, I think it would be for the 6th seed. I think if
it could be either. Yeah, it depends.
I think if no, because then San Francisco, Arizona, and New Orleans would have the same record, like identical record. But I think if the Saints would win, they would have the 5th seed then.
Yeah.
Because they
beat 49ers.
They beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
So they got a tiebreaker there, even if San Francisco would win. And then if the Cardinals won, I think the Saints also have a tiebreaker over them too.
Yeah, they might. I don't know what the record,
So,
but
if the 49ers win tonight, they pretty much lock up the 5th seed, and they also lock up a playoff berth. They even have the division title still up for grabs too for them.
Yeah.
Seattle hasn't locked it up yet.
Yeah.
Technically, I think if Seattle slips up this week and San Francisco wins the next 2 games, Seattle goes from the 5th all of a sudden to the 1st seed, and next year Candlestick becomes home field advantage and not Seattle.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because
I don't see Seattle losing to the Rams.
Yeah.
Even though the Rams of Jeff Fisher have all of a sudden they look like a dangerous team next year, maybe.
It's at home, right?
I think it is at home, but I think we also learned that I think you're right. It's at Seattle.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So the Rams, dangerous team maybe next year to look at. They're just a few pieces away from a playoff team title there.
Yeah, I mean, they're right there. I mean, they beat the Saints last week maybe.
Put a beating on the Buccaneers too, which faced the Saints. That's a big game.
I think they beat Chicago a little while ago. Yeah. Pretty bad.
Oh yeah, the battle of the Long brothers.
Yeah.
Howie Long's brothers, Chris and I think the other one's Kyle. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's Chris and Kyle.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the Rams right now. I mean they're kind of playing a spoiler role, so who knows?
Bucks too. They got the Saints coming up.
Yeah.
I think it's at the Superdome, so I think it should be the win for the Saints.
Yeah, in a desperate situation.
Oh yeah, and definitely Sean Payne has already hit the emergency button there. He does not want to see them miss the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
But I think if the 49ers win tonight, they got the 5th seed locked up. Possibly the 1 seed still up for grabs too, depending on what Seattle does. So a lot of stuff can happen there. So.
Yeah.
But you got the Saints there, and you got the Cardinals hanging out on the outside too, waiting to get in, and the rest are just division battles now.
Right, the 3 and 4 seeds, of course, and and of course Carolina could now be a 2 seed as well.
If they beat Atlanta, and or the Saints lose, It doesn't matter what happens against Atlanta then. So
they have that 2nd seed wrapped up, and so that's
Cam Newton having a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Only his 3rd year in the NFL, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's already progressing like the Madden games have progressed him for so long in career mode.
Yeah.
Like I remember one friend always joked about that. He always blew his mind how fast like Cam Newton would always progress each year in Madden. Like he'd be like an 88 like for his rookie year, and like it'd be like a 92, like a 95.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like he keeps going this way. He'd be like a 99, and he'll be like the best quarterback in all football then.
Yeah.
And he might be. I mean, there's a lot of old.
Yeah, I mean, depending on Peyton Manning goes down, or something.
Well, Peyton Manning is going to be retiring soon. I already know that.
Yeah.
So you got young guys. I mean, there's Brady out there, and you got Rodgers, but they've been in there longer than anybody.
Yeah. Rodgers is only 30. I mean, so you'd think.
I mean, but maybe besides Andrew Luck, I mean, Cam Newton could be the.
Yeah, he could be
the next big,
player.
Which is what Carolina's been hoping for. This is what they've been looking for is a very long-term franchise quarterback, and they might have found it this year finally.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
And Von Rivera probably just had his job get saved.
Yeah.
Because I remember the beginning of the year when they were, 2-4, I think, or something?
Yeah.
There was already talk of him getting fired mid-season.
Yeah.
So maybe pulling a Tom Coughlin moment here where his job's up for grabs, but then all of a sudden the team rallies behind him and they win the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
He gets a massive contract extension and so on.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, now this week, obviously, we got the big game,
Prime
which
time.
got flexed. Yep.
I kind of was hoping I actually did not want it to be prime time, to be honest with you. I was hoping they would put somebody. I mean, granted, it would be nice because the spotlight's going to be solely on Dallas. Then we all know what happens when it's solely on Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their Week 17 record, they can since 2001, I think, is 2-11.
Really?
I
Wow.
think it's that it got that it's getting that got that bad for Dallas.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. But
Well, yeah, because I don't. I'm curious how a lot of former Cowboys are feeling about this current team right now.
yeah,
Because I remember at one point, like somebody said, "Oh, this is the new big three." You got Romo, who's Aikman. You got Murray, who's Smith, and then you got Des Bryant, who's Michael.
Irvin.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I don't know who's playing the role of primetime Dion, but
yeah, because
I guess-
especially with this historically bad defense
Yeah.
right now.
probably because we could be the worst involved in the history of
Yeah.
the league. That's just franchise.
Depending what the Eagles do to him next week.
I think it is the worst already in franchise. I think it's going to be the worst in the franchise, but could be the worst in the history of the league.
Right. Yeah, and if the Eagles play, like they did last night, or even close to that,
That happens. There's gonna be a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans walking out of the stadium, which make that whole stadium look embarrassing. All those empty seats, possibly, and Jerry just staying there looking dumbfounded as ever.
Yeah.
Jason Garrett having a look on his face like, "Oh shit, I'm fired after this game." And
Yeah.
Tony Romo looking stupid, going, "Oh, we lost again."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Des Bryant crying on the sidelines.
yeah. Nick Foles here looked at
And Stephen A. Smith does not need to wear a Dallas Cowboys jersey come next Monday's first take.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you heard about that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. He told me last week. I remember.
First he had two. He said Dallas beat Washington and Philly. If Washington would have won, even if we would have lost Chicago, I think the bet wouldn't even matter if Dallas would have won the division. But no, they beat Washington. So now Stephen A. Smith is the biggest Eagles fan now in the history of ESPN.
Yeah.
Because he hates the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So the bet he has to go on next Monday's show and wear a Tony Romo home Cowboy jersey. He said he'll even wear a cap, a baseball cap with Cowboy on it. Because he's that confident the Eagles will win this game.
Yeah.
And that the Cowboys will blow this game.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so there's a lot of interesting bets happening on this game.
Well, yeah, I could imagine that he'd be a big Eagles fan. I know
he's a Giants fan actually.
Oh,
yeah,
I think because in New York, I used to do a show with Mike Missinelli. I know, so.
Randy, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
So but I could imagine him, root for the Eagles.
Of course,
situation.
well,
especially with Skip Bayless being a
massive Cowboy. Even though he's from Oklahoma, he grew up in Oklahoma City and that.
Yeah.
As he said, when he grew up, there was no professional team, or as he said, there was one. They were called the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
Kind of like a King of the Hill reference, I guess. There.
Yeah. The King of the Hill reference.
Yeah.
Loser.
Right.
You're a loser.
Right. But
Yeah.
what was it, North Texas?
You mean
it was when they went to go watch spring training for Dallas.
Oh,
it was in some North Texas city, close to the Oklahoma border.
probably close to
And Hank Hill, it was a propane station,
right.
and it says the official propane of the Dallas Cowboys. And
Yeah.
he's just like, I want to thank you for the official propane of the Dallas Cowboys. And all of a sudden the guy goes, "Oh, screw the Cowboys!" And it's like, you know what I'm so sick of? All of you South Texans coming up here in North Texas and say, "How about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys?" It doesn't matter because every Saturday I go down to Norman, Oklahoma, and cheer on those Boomer Sooner Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they start the guy starts humming the Oklahoma theme song, da 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 da.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Hank starts putting the ears and starts doing the Cowboys chant, which I didn't know they even had a chant, but I guess they do.
Yeah, I don't know what it.
But it was a classic King of the Hill episode because then they try to get Arlen, Texas. They try to make a video about how they try to get the Cowboys into Arlen for spring training.
Yeah.
So that way their town, that way their kids actually remember Arlen for something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So.
I always loved that episode.
Yeah.
But Skip Bayless is definitely a Cowboys fan. Like I said, even though he grew up in Oklahoma and all that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's have a professional team. You got to go for the next border state, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So the matchups this week. I mean,
on
offense and defense.
He gets Foles.
Yeah.
Who once again finally got the whole Foles goal moniker off after 1 week, but
after last week, maybe not being a little shaky.
Yeah.
The Church of Foles seems to be back in session here. Yeah.
And like I said, everybody maybe got off the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid, got back on it this week so easily at the 54 points in an NFL game.
Yeah.
But so I mean, obviously, like I said, we have a whole lot of Cowboy trash talking going next week.
Yeah.
If not, and get ready for a massive rant on for Eagle fans, essentially.
Because they should. I think they should win this game. They've been playing better football than.
But
you know,
like I said, next week first of all, try to get sad Hawk music.
If the
Cowboy, well, hell, maybe both, because maybe I'll be very depressed too. Also, but no, try to find the sad Hawk music and upload it so that way we can do something with that next week.
Yeah.
Just Ty, all you do is type in sad Hawk music, and already it has like
on
right
YouTube.
on YouTube, and it's like one of the first
put
topics.
It in right on my phone.
Yeah.
And just hold it up to them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like very depressing. It's from the old like Hawk TV show. It was the song they played like after like an episode was over, and you saw Bruce Banner just walking alone down like a dusty road, and as it's going, you hear like this. You know, so it was kind of like it's pretty known as sad Hawk music because it's like a very sad, depressing song.
Yeah. And then if the Eagles win next week, we got that New Year's Eve party.
Yes.
Get
your camera ready.
That the Cowboys fan that we mentioned
I'm gonna
on the
wait.
show.
I'm gonna hold off rubbing it in Bill Fikes' face until you show up.
Yeah.
Hopefully inside this year, not outside in the campfire. I don't know what hell happened last year of that, but inside, we will circle him and get him on video and say, "Welcome to YouTube, buddy."
Yeah.
And we already know what he's going to do. He's going to bring up the 5 Super Bowl rings, not since the 90s, and it's 2000.
It was 2 years.
It's going to be 2014 come that day, but.
Yeah.
But then again, the 0 Super Bowls, blah, 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 not having won the championship since 1960. I still think we're due for one way before this Dallas franchise is due for one, because even if Dallas wins, against the 49ers, it's talking about embarrassment and Jerry World then.
Yeah.
I think this Eagles team offensively can beat any team in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
The question mark for me is going to be the defense.
Yeah. How much do they show up?
How much do they show up, and how motivated are they? That's what they do. How much is the offense? Because the offense goes through another Minnesota moment at Seattle or at Carolina. Well, I'm sorry, Cam Newton is going to do what Matt Castle did, and he's going to just score like 40 points on us. And it doesn't even matter if our offense scores 30 because they scored 40.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing I do about football. It doesn't matter how much you allow. As long as you score more than the other opponent, you got to win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what about Chicago I did like too. We didn't put the brakes on the second half like we usually do. Yeah. We kept gunning.
Yeah.
And if we do that in every game on out, we're going to win every game. Because if they can't stop us in the first half and not in the second half, they can't get any momentum going in offensively. And if they do, no one's going to catch up to 54 points in the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things to look at there. But
I mean, if the Eagles don't win this game, then I guess they don't deserve to be in the playoffs anyways.
No,
because you can't. This Dallas team is flimsy, and I think they should beat them.
So many injuries on this team here. Like I said, I brought up the whole linebacker deal already. I mean,
Tony Romo getting an MRA today.
They're just saying there's rumors they might miss Sunday. It's not going to happen. They're not going to put this game on the back of Kyle Orton.
Yeah.
Even if he's like 75%, only 7% healthy, Tony Romo's playing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's playing. Even if he gets hurt during the game, he's playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is last gas here for Dallas.
Yeah.
So.
And I said, it's Jerry Wald. It's probably going to be like 100,000.
Jobs might be on the line.
Jobs on the line. 100,000 people going to be in there. Probably almost all Cowboy fans. I don't know how many Eagle fans are going to be showing up.
Yeah.
If it is, like I said, if it ends up like Chicago, it's going to be like the sea parting, essentially.
Yeah.
All the Cowboy fans leaving the stadium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showing pictures of Jerry Jones looking dumbfounded up in the, like I said, dumbfounded. Jason Garrett looking scared shitless down the sidelines. Yeah. Monty Kiffin looking like he doesn't know where the hell he's at right now. Probably like 73 years old or something.
Yeah.
Tony Romo looking depressed as hell. Des Bryant crying. DeMarco Murray yelling at the coaching staff for not giving him the ball enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it, it could all happen in one magical moment.
Right. Yep, so.
But, well, to be fair, what's going to be one? Bill might also not show up if the Cowboys lose, knowing what might happen.
Know. Yeah, you never know.
You never know. I will show up whether we win or lose or not, because I actually have balls. And
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, going forward, too, I mean, this team is looking like it has more of a future than Dallas ever would, and then
even from personnel standpoint, screw the personnel. I think from a management standpoint, we're better, because we know what who our head coach is.
Yeah.
We know who our GM is.
Right.
We know who our owner is.
Right.
Nobody mixes up the two positions together. And
yeah.
Because I don't know, like, what was it like on the first day? Like, it was like a former Cowboy, and he said when he was coaching under Jimmy Johnson, we all knew who the head coach was. It was Jimmy Johnson.
Right.
Jerry's the owner, but Jimmy was the coach.
Yeah.
The problem now, people say, is they look at Jason Garrett, and he's not a head coach. He's a lackey for Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Which, that what does it mean? If a player has a problem, did they go to Garrett? No, they go to Jerry Jones. So now Garrett looks like he has no power then.
Yeah.
So can you blame Garrett for any losses, or you start blaming Jerry because he's getting power hungry in for the franchise?
Yeah.
But like I said, that's gonna be some off-season talks. We can go through each probably team in that because Rex Ryan might be fired, Mike Coughlin might be fired too. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you can't just have one bad New York team this year. You have two bad New York teams.
Yeah.
Shanahan's probably gone. Like I said, we might have three.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly may be the longest tenured coach
dean,
maybe in the East this year, possibly.
The dean of the NFC East.
But I mean, people talk about whether who's the coach of the Bucks?
New
Shivani,
coach, right?
I think, is the guy.
Yeah.
Talk he might be gone maybe because of the whole Josh Freeman situation.
Yeah.
Granted, they've gotten better since he's left, but I don't think Mike Glennon's your franchise QB either.
Yeah.
Atlanta, kind of just to see what Atlanta does this year. Kind of a very disappointing year for them. Carolina should be ecstatic this year.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, a lot of young talent, minus Steve Smith, who I think is getting closer to that R word being brought up.
Yeah.
Retirement. Saints, I mean, a shaky finish probably, but still they got potential there still for a big, maybe one more Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
The NFC West, I mean, the North, let's go to the North first. Vikings need a quarterback badly right now. But if they do, they might be a playoff team again.
Yeah.
Detroit needs a new coaching staff. Schwartz is gone.
Yeah.
So who they're going to get, I don't know. But they need a coach in there because they got so much talent on this roster.
Yeah.
That this team, like I said, they might be a Super Bowl team next year based on the head coach maybe.
Yeah.
Chicago might have a quarterback controversy come this year, whether they want it or not.
Yeah.
But, I did have a pick and win of the division, and I still got him because I don't think Rodgers is coming back. And I still don't have enough faith in Matt Flynn to win it in the end. So, Chicago, I think, is pretty good. Packers, maybe can get a better offensive line next year to protect Rodgers from getting hurt.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think those two. I think those two franchises are in pretty good shape still.
Yeah.
The West, I mean, Arizona should be happy this year. Bruce Arians, shocked a lot of people this year with that team. Seattle, I mean, maybe Sidney Rice should be healthy next year. Percy Harvin hopefully won't have any injury at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think when he gets in the playoffs, because it sounds like that's what they're saving for is the playoffs. Once that happens, I think this is a different Seattle offense with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then they're still going to make it to the Super Bowl then, I think, probably. Because Percy Harvin is that big of an X factor for any team. Which is why I don't know why Minnesota got rid of him in the first place.
Yeah.
But so Seattle's good. San Francisco's good, too. Even though I think Vern Davis is getting pretty old up there in age. And I don't think Bolden or Crabtree or Manningham can stabilize that offense. And I also don't think Kaepernick's a long-term quarterback. I still don't think he is. He showed some signs this year, but...
Well, yeah, definitely in recent weeks.
But he's also showed some signs where I thought I compare him almost to Matt Schaub, and we also saw how Matt Schaub turned out this year.
Yeah.
I mean, so against the AFC, well, Houston obviously is going to pick a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is the favorite right now.
Yeah.
Maybe Johnny Manziel in a close second, right? And going more south, you got Jacksonville, who might get Johnny Manziel then. If that's the case, the Tim Tebow fan should be shut the hell up then, because screw Tim Tebow, you got Johnny Football now. So you got advertising there already. So that should pack Jacksonville up. I mean, we're expecting a lot from Jacksonville this should begin with, but they've showed some promise in some key positions. I've seen some of that.
Yeah. Maybe on defense, maybe.
Oh, offensively, and Cecil Shorts showed some sign. I mean, but no, Jackson's a few years away from being anywhere near playoff contention. Colts should be happy. Andrew Luck's good, but Reggie Wayne might be done soon.
Yeah.
Which means you need a new key wide receiver, and T.Y. Hilton's not in, and I don't even know who the rest of the receiving core is, but definitely Reggie Wayne went down, hurt that passing game for Luck in that. Yeah. So, but I wouldn't panic there. So let's see. Oh, Tennessee. I mean, I'd be happy this year. I think when Jake Locker went down, that's what killed this team this year.
Yeah, they brought in Fitzpatrick.
But I think Broncos can stay healthy. I think that's a good team. The AFC East, Miami. still a shot making the playoffs here, so they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
They also got a lot of talent in this team, so I'm curious what they're going to be in the future. Jets, I said Rex Ryan's done probably this year. Quarterback be interesting there. Do you keep Sanchez? Is he a backup? Do you send him out in the market? Geno Smith's been 50-50 this year. Is he even your franchise QB?
Yeah.
A lot of question marks with New York right now. New England should be ecstatic this year.
Yeah.
Like I said, Tom Brady doing so much for so little. So as long as Brady stays healthy, that team's not in any trouble at all. Buffalo, I mean, they showed some promise this year.
Moving in the right direction.
Yeah, moving in the right direction, I'd say. But I think they still need a few more X factors this year. But they actually might be the best team to challenge for New England next year, maybe.
Yeah,
Looking at it, if you look at the rest of the team in the division. The North, the Bengals, I think are pretty satisfied with where they've been moving. They've made a lot of key moves in the offseason.
Yeah, a little better than last year.
Yeah. I mean, I still need Andy Dalton to get one playoff win for me, even satisfied with him at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
So, but I think they're in pretty good shape. Baltimore, they lost a lot of people from last year's Super Bowl team, and they still fell in the blocks.
Rebuilding year. Yeah.
I mean, they still might make the playoffs somehow, but I wouldn't say it was a great year for Flacco either. Yeah. So he's not backing up that pay increase. We'll see what happens next year when they add maybe a few more playmakers, hopefully, and so on. Pittsburgh, I mean, once again, they made the playoffs. They started off 2-6, but they were on a pretty impressive win streak. So you can't throw Pittsburgh under the bus yet. So I don't know. I give maybe a medium year so far. I mean, to me, they have talent, but they're all getting old. They need some they need some young blood in there. They're going to want to become a long-term challenger for the North, especially since Cincinnati's been starting to improve, and Baltimore might. Like I said, they still got some playmakers on that team. Cleveland, well, they thought they had a quarterback, Brian Hoyer, but then he got out for the year, and after this, it's been like, well, it's Brandon Weeden, and then it's Jason Campbell, and then it's Brandon Weeden, and then it's Jason Campbell. Yeah. But, and then they traded Trent Richardson to the Colts, which might have been a smart move from their point for getting a number one pick in that. But I think the Browns still need a few more playmakers if they want to be a legitimate. Defense was great this year, I think, for Cleveland. But that offense, they got to find it. First of all, they need a sitting quarterback for, and do you go back with Hoyer when he comes back next year, maybe? Or, do you maybe goes for somebody else? So, but Cleveland, I still maybe 2-3 years away from a playoff team.
Yeah.
I mean, the AFC West, Denver's good, but, to me, it comes down to how long is Peyton Manning going to be the starter? Because really, I think once Payne's gone, that all those playmakers you have depends on the quarterback then that comes out for Peyton Manning, and it's not going to be Brock Osweiler or Weiler. I can't pronounce his last name. Oakland, I don't know. They still need a quarterback. They thought they had Pryor this year. He's been injury prone. Yeah. Matt McGloin showed some signs, but there's so much issue still with Oakland. They're still a couple years for playoff. San Diego, they lost Nerve Turner last year, but defense is horrible. But Phil Rivers has been putting up some pretty decent numbers.
Yeah, so they could still somehow make it in the playoffs.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say it was a bad year for them. Kansas City, pretty good year because of what happened last year. So make the playoffs. Don't know they're going to do anything in the playoffs, but still pretty good year.
Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's pretty much that's my overview of the whole league so far.
Yeah.
In probably the span of 2-3 minutes, so I probably rushed a whole lot there, but
no, yeah. But I mean, we got the season's winding down, so teams are definitely starting to think about the future, and the subjects of firings are definitely coming up full circle now. So, but fortunately, we got a good game this weekend for the division that hopefully the Eagles will come out of Dallas victorious, and then probably they'd find themselves in the third seed of the playoffs.
Probably a date with the Saints because I don't see Sean Payton and his team blowing it at the last game of the year.
Yeah,
and I don't see the 49ers losing their last 2 games. So probably the Saints. That's my guess.
So that could definitely be an interesting scenario then that could play out. But we'll see. We'll root for the Eagles to win this next game this week and
score.
Well, the Eagles I think are going to put up some points. Mm-hmm. Give the Eagles 38. I give Dallas 24.
Okay. I'm gonna go 31-17.
31-17.
Gonna go maybe on a little bit of the lower end, but
so
still 30. I think
so like a 14. We kind of both had that.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go more defensive like last time. I think Kevin will still get this defense motivated somehow, especially since it's they threw 3 points last time. I think Kelly gets the offense motivated. I don't see us scoring 50 or 40.
54, yeah.
If we do.
One of those.
If we do, there's going to be definitely a lot of firings.
Yeah, one of those was a pick six, too, so, you know.
I really don't see much of that. I see Des Bryant getting going. Probably gets, Kerry Williams?
Possibly.
Little Kerry Williams against Big Des Bryant. I mean, the guy's a crybaby, but Des Bryant can still be a big impact on any team.
Yeah.
So I think Bryant's gonna just, at least in the beginning, he's gonna have no problem against our secondary. But I think one key interception by Romo maybe is gonna be a difference, or one turnover. It might be even a Murray fumble or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and certainly the defense, keeping up the pressure. Mm-hmm. They get to the court, the Romo and the run.
It can't be Minnesota again. It can't be. They can't let Romo go be it. Because if you give Matt Castle all that time in the world, what do you think Romo's going to do with all the time in the world?
Right.
Probably?
Yeah.
So, but even then, I mean, Washington put pressure on Romo, and Romo got out of some plays there, and was able to make some big time plays in the end. So
yeah, but definitely this Eagles defense should be motivated either way. While the Dallas defense is not,
Well, they're gonna be. Both teams should be motivated.
Both teams will be motivated.
I think it comes down. Like I said, to me, it comes down to personnel. And like I said, Philadelphia, except for maybe in the secondary, really no major injuries this year, except for maybe Jerry Maclin earlier in the year on the offensive side of the ball. But really, no major injuries this year for the
taking care of it.
This is a very banged up Dallas defense.
Yeah.
Like I said, no Sean Lee. He had actually a pretty decent year this year, but he's out for the year. I mean, hell, even the who was the another running back for Dallas? But I forget. If there's somebody else, he's out for the year too. So it's all on Murray's back on the running back position. Yeah. So I mean, but at the end of the day, I think it's all on Romo's back like usual. Just like it's all on Foles' back. Can Nick Foles gold.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's if Foles can. Interesting, because like I said, this is almost the same defense that allowed only 90. Interesting to see if that's still in Nick's head.
Yeah.
If he can get out of that. McCoy had like 50 rushing yards that game. Will he get that out of his head too?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it's still this is still a team that beat us last time. But I do think we can get through this. If not, then like I said, we guarantee at least the massive rant next week probably.
Yeah, but I got to think it'll be a different. Mm-hmm. Totally different situation than earlier in the year. And it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and hopefully in the Eagles' favor.
And if they win next week, we may redo our playoff predictions maybe because we still got Denver.
Yeah,
we had Denver, San Francisco, and we might still be going Denver, San Francisco. Maybe, but who knows? We also did Philadelphia coming in fourth place in the division, and look what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
So, and I also said, don't drink the Chip Kelly Kool-Aid, and all of a sudden I'm starting to drink the Kool-Aid now after the Chicago game.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I guess the final thing would be who's getting the 6th seed in the AFC.
Oh.
That's probably the biggest question mark.
Depends who's playing who.
Well, Miami, New York, Baltimore, Cincinnati, San Diego, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Here's the scenarios, Tyler. Because I do remember these in my head because the East has been going through Baltimore all morning. Yeah. Miami wins. All they need is either a Baltimore loss or a San Diego win, and they get the 6th seed. Baltimore would need a win or a San Diego loss because they would have tiebreaker over Miami, and that would be head-to-head then. Or a San Diego loss and a Miami loss then. Wait, that's about it, yeah. San Diego would need Baltimore could be a win or a San Diego win and a Miami loss because Baltimore would have the tiebreaker over San Diego. So Baltimore could have two things happen, really. San Diego would still need the win. They need both Miami and Baltimore to lose. Of course, Pittsburgh would need the win and have Miami, Baltimore, and San Diego all lose. Based on that, I want to say that last week against Buffalo was never happened for Miami.
Kind of like, yeah.
Like I said, I don't think Kansas City's going to play their starters. If that's the case, Phil Rivers should have a field day.
Yeah.
I think it's at home, too. I think it's at San Diego. So, I think the Chargers win. Miami wins. Miami gets a 6th seed. A very weak 6th seed, in my dad used.
Yeah.
Whoever's the 3rd seed whoever's the 3rd seed should have no problem, which I think is going to be Cincinnati.
Yeah, probably. Cincinnati.
So, Bengals should win and then face New England, essentially. Because I don't see Denver losing to Oakland.
Yeah.
All I really see is Peyton Manning shattering more records, probably.
Yeah.
And this, Broncos team sharing more records probably. But that's about it. So I got Miami.
Yeah.
Even if Baltimore does win, I don't think it matters.
That,
Once San Diego wins, it's
that's
over.
Against Cincinnati. At Cincinnati? Baltimore, is that?
I don't know. It could be either way. Even if it's at Baltimore, I think Cincinnati might show up here. Baltimore might not. And I said, even if Baltimore wins, they still need the Chargers to lose.
Right.
And I don't see that happening against maybe a non-starting Kansas City team.
Yeah, probably advantage Miami then because
like you said, if Miami loses, then Baltimore, if they win, they would be in.
Yeah.
Because San Diego wins doesn't really matter. Miami had the win.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so many options there, but I got Miami. So you also got Miami.
Yeah.
Based on technicality. So it's all going to be based on technicality.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the Chargers in it or the Ravens in it or maybe even the Steelers. Because even they've shown some signs of life that they can maybe be a competitive team.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger's been showing some signs here of the old Big Ben.
Yeah.
We're talking 2 Super Bowl rings, Big Ben.
I mean, again, I was against the Packers who are, still trying to get Rodgers back.
Well, okay, Chicago, Green Bay.
Chicago. Well, it's probably not going to be Rodgers, so I'd go with Chicago.
Yeah, me too. Probably. Yeah. If Rodgers shows up, how do you bet against the Packers?
Yeah,
but no,
especially in a revenge situation, then too. I mean,
but no, I'm going Chicago. I'm going Chicago.
Yeah.
I just believe Rodgers is starting, so I don't trust Matt Flynn. Chicago wins. Philadelphia wins, which means, and of course, San Francisco wins tonight, so they get the 5th seed and a playoff berth.
Yeah.
So I mean, and like I said, the Saints are going to make the playoffs. I don't see them losing to Tampa at the Superdome, nonetheless. Yeah. They're pretty. After that, I mean, like I said, Philadelphia, New Orleans. Maybe I'll pick Philadelphia in that game.
I mean,
it wouldn't be a crazy pick.
Right.
If it had been at the Superdome, it would have been a crazy pick. I probably would have went Saints all the way. I don't think we can win in the Superdome. But we win there. Then we're at Carolina. I mean, they're pretty good at home to these Panthers. But it's Cam Newton. It's his first playoff game. Foles already would have had his second game by then.
Yeah. So
that Panthers defense didn't look that obviously look that impressive, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, offensively, the Eagles are the best team offensively out of anybody that's left. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe the only team you can make it fall in there maybe is the Green Bay Packers if Aaron Rodgers.
If they were,
the only other team that maybe could be competitive on offense. Everybody else, to me, they're all defensive-minded teams essentially. Seattle, San Francisco. Well, I should say the Saints are a very offensive team, but they just cannot, for some reason, on the road get this offense going.
Right.
But I would say the Saints are definitely an explosive
49ers defense. Yeah.
Panthers are defensive oriented. Chicago, I would say that too, but then they do have some playmakers. We shut them down pretty badly, but they do have some playmakers on the Chicago team.
Yeah,
in San Francisco, they have talent on offense, but I think it's all based on their defense winning.
The defense is really good. Yeah, I mean they have some talent, and they've been a pretty hot team lately too. So
AFC, if it's not New England or Denver in the championship game, I would be shocked. Although again, I had to be in Cincinnati and Denver early on. I think early in the year, if I remember right.
Yeah, you might have had them.
Because I can see Cincinnati, and they already beat New England in the regular season. Yeah. Granted, it was at Cincinnati, and they have to go to Foxborough this time. But no. So I mean, the AFC, it's really down to it's if it's not Denver or New England in the Super Bowl, the AFC, it's a pretty weak AFC team then going to the Super Bowl. Which means if you're anybody in the NFC, I like anybody in the NFC then winning. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd probably be favored.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so I guess that'll wrap things up for TW Sports Talk today. Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, or Happy Hanukkah or whatever.
Hanukkah's done.
Okay,
it would be Kwanzaa probably. Kwanzaa. The day after.
That's right. That's yeah. I haven't had the dates mixed up there. And
Hanukkah was around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, but and then before the new year closes down, probably we'll. Yeah, it depends on the day, but then we'll be back next week to talk about the Eagles in Dallas.
Yeah, Barry. There's no wrestling debate this week.
Right.
No, there's a topic. We could probably wait a few weeks to talk about this topic, because by then we should have more information on this topic. But no, but expect the 12 Pains of Cena to come out.
Yeah, soon. That's right. Yeah,
I listened to it. It was a brilliant editing move by Tyler on his part.
Thank you. But
clearly, a lot of time and effort went into this video here.
Actually, it didn't take too much time and effort. Actually, it was pretty easy.
Tyler, it took a lot of time and effort here. I'm trying to show you hard work here.
All right, then thanks. But But yeah, we'll be back next week.
It's not like it's like a simple Photoshop photo that you did where it's just I took a face and switched it or something. And look,
that's true.
You know,
Yeah.
Or some of those stupid memes. I mean, memes are so easy to make online if you think about it. Yeah. They're so popular. But no. It was very complicated and hardworking. You deserve all the credit in the world for doing it because I could never do something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm experienced with working with that. And
maybe a live video of a angry Cowboys fan.
Right, yeah.
Knowing Bill, he'll try not to be angry there. Because we got to get under his skin then.
Who we mentioned on
the biggest Cowboy fan I know.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Mm-hmm.
For hopefully an Eagles win.
Yeah.
And trip to the playoffs. And
either way, there's gonna be angry people on the show next week.
And hopefully another failure in Jerry World.
Yeah.
For this season.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in as always, and happy holidays.